Hey everybody, you're tuning in to the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. Good job being here a little early, and congratulations to Knowledge 2020 in YouTube for first comment of the day. Your trophy's in the mail, bro. All right, folks, we're back. We're back in action. We were a little bit worried that this would be more difficult this week because we completely forgot about Thanksgiving. But we are coming to you live today, starting in just about a minute. But as usual, make sure to go to CanaryCry.Party. That's right, it's a real URL, CanaryCry.Party. You can find all the links. Join the newsletter there. Gonz will be sending out the show notes for the past couple of weeks worth of show notes, which will have all of the mainstream corporate media sources that we use on the show. So as usual, do not get into these conversations during Thanksgiving. I repeat, do not do it. But if you just can't help yourself, and you do, make sure to come equipped with mainstream corporate media sources, because that is what your normie friends and family want to hear. You can get all those by heading to CanaryCry.Party and signing up for the newsletter. Okay, folks, happy Thanksgiving. Let's get the show started. Buckle your seatbelts, stay hydrated, and keep that turkey basted. Let's go.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is November 24th, 2021. This is episode 415. And today, Cunning Designs. Basil, I'm your best buddy. Basil, gobble gobble.
And this is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Welcome to the podcast where we bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And Basil, you're coming at us from the metaverse.
From space. Now, just from the road, from a car parked outside of an undisclosed free Wi-Fi network.
Those pagan temples is where you're hanging out.
It really is, yes, the modern pagan temples. So I'm on the road. Yeah, I'm on the headset today, and we've got the cardboard cutout up on the live stream there for everybody. But we're here to do a show. Forewarning, because of the holiday and because of the travel situation, this will be a bit of a shorter show, but we figured, hey, let's make it happen. Let's do a live show so people have something to listen to on Thanksgiving when they just need to get away and listen to some corporate news media deconstruction and analysis.
So if you're currently listening to this hiding in the bathroom while your family argues about something in the living room,
or you're in a big conversation and you just had to go to the bathroom so you can check your Canary Cry
your sources,
News Talk sources in the newsletter that should have gone out by now. You're frantically scrolling through the show notes from the past 2 weeks so you can get that perfect mainstream article to rebut the brainwashed arguments coming from your family. We're here for you.
Fun times.
Yeah.
So definitely a little bit of a shorter show today, but we do have some stuff to bring you. And, one of the things we do here... Oh, first off, it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Good catch. It's one thing for us to miss the Monday jingle. It is totally something else to miss the Wednesday jingle. Then they would revolt, Gonz. That would be the end of us if we forgot the Wednesday jingle.
Do you get the screams of that jingle in stereo, or do you get it mono?
I get it mono because of Skype.
Oh, yeah. Good old Skype.
Are they in stereo?
Oh, it's in stereo. Yeah, it always goes across. It starts in my left ear, and then it zips through my brain, and then it comes out the right ear. And I'm always like, whoa.
As if the Wednesday man is screaming as he sprints across your desk.
My mindscape, yeah.
That's funny. I wonder, does it go in stereo in the RSS feed?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe I do have it in mono just because of the way OBS.
We could be creating a 3D audio experience.
Well, people listening through the RSS feed, the actual podcast itself will be receiving it in stereo. So there's the perks of listening to it, from its original source, not the video version.
Yes, you can find that on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all the other fun places. So.
Yep.
All right, well, we're already breaking our promise to have a short show, so we should get into it. What do you got to start us off?
Okay, so I thought this would be a great example of partial news deconstruction, but also misdirection, propaganda, and it comes from the world of crypto, obviously, because I look at that and I find it very fascinating in terms of the future and what it holds for us technologically, economically, and all that. But the first story here is from Yahoo Finance, and the headline here is Cardano Tron sink as Etoro slaps limits on both, citing evolving cryptocurrency debate. And it says cryptocurrencies Cardano and Tron sank on Wednesday following a decision by online trading platform Etoro to delist the digital coin on its platform, a move that left crypto market watchers flummoxed. And it goes into some numbers. And the quote here from the Etoro spokesperson is, quote, "The regulatory landscape for crypto is evolving rapidly. As a result, we will be limiting the ability for U.S. users to open new positions in or earn staking rewards for ADA and TRX." And there's a lot of drama there.
Crypto mumbo jumbo to those who don't know, Gonz.
Yeah, I know. It's just things you can do to earn money or trade. They're just holding it all up. Now, the price of Cardano tanked because of this news, 20, 30 cents, something like that. Meanwhile, so that was Yahoo News, right? Yahoo Finance, and a lot of the mainstream outlets were carrying the story about Cardano and Tron, dropped off Etoro. What does it mean? The price tanking, etc. Well, meanwhile, a couple days ago, this is from Bitstamp. It's another big exchange, crypto exchange, and the news here was ADA, the Cardano token, the token behind Cardano, is making its appearance on Bitstamp. So right around the same time, they announced that they're going to be on one of the biggest exchanges out there. So there's a little misdirection. And I thought it was summarized well by Dan Gambardello. I chose him to comment on this because in his profile, on Twitter anyway, he says, "Foremost, I love Jesus Christ, saved through his grace." And he's a crypto influencer guy. He's got a YouTube channel and stuff like that. But, he put Jesus at the top of the list. So I was like, hey, if you're going to do that, I'll check you out. And he's a big Cardano guy, but here's what he said. "Let me get this straight. Cardano just got listed on a major crypto exchange, Bitstamp, that does $513 billion in volume a day," meaning, that's the amount of money being traded. "But all I'm seeing is negative news about Cardano getting delisted from a small exchange, Etoro, that only does $67 billion. Follow the data." So, you know how we've been talking about this transparency theme with the whole reset and the economy and crypto and what that... One of the big characteristics of crypto is transparency when it comes to the financial movement of assets and everything else. And so this is an example of mainstream news, Yahoo Finance, and all these mainstream outlets carrying a story and creating what's called FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, for the price of Cardano to go down and all this kind of stuff for the retailers, the people that don't know any better, that are just looking at mainstream news. They're like, "Oh no, this is bad news. I should sell my Cardano." And meanwhile, it's being adopted on the biggest exchange. There's institutional adoption happening behind the scenes. And not only that, but Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, he's the head guy there. We've quoted him on the show before. he went on Twitter and says, I truly enjoy that the narrative about Cardano is changing from ghost chain to no use and utility to, quote, how will Cardano handle this congestion? Blocks are full, dApps are turning on. And he says, dogs bark, caravan moves on. And he uses the a GIF. I don't know. What do you call it, Basil? Is it a GIF or GIF?
I call it a biff.
A biff. From... what's that movie? The movie with the one you love, out in the desert, the dystopian movie out in the desert.
Mad Max.
Mad Max, yeah. And it's kind of an example of the social engineering and the social warfare taking place on the internet, where people get into these tribes and stuff. And Cardano is like this giant tribe online. These people that believe in Cardano, and it's Ouroboros protocol. It's like, oh my gosh. But I wanted to just bring that string of thinking because it shows quite blatantly, I think, the differences in what you see reported and how things get spun in mainstream outlets and through now alternative outlets or niche market, whatever you want to call it. If you dig down a little deeper, that's not the case at all. Yes, the price is down, but
lies, more lies.
It's all just lies, yeah. Liar! So, I don't know, it's a good example of what we do here, and looking a little deeper into the crevasses of news stories and report what might be a little bit more accurate, or at least a more objective take than just what the headlines are saying and freaking out over it. Which,
and if nothing else, shows even more that the corporate mainstream media is specifically incentivized by not truth, not actual facts, not anything, but the influence of their financiers and financial whales across the globe. And news media has always been sort of the not just the whipping boy for financial elites, but also a tool. I mean, it is a total tool. It's kind of an insult to call somebody a tool, but you talk about corporate media, they are literally just a tool for elites in different sectors.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of tools, Gonz, let's talk about FLIPPY.
Hold on.
That was perfect.
No. It was. I'm not going to deny that. So yes, you earned the points for perfection.
Okay, I can do it again. I'm a professional.
Sure. I could tee you up a little bit more with the Cardano thing too, but I do want to just bring this because Crypto.com just bought the naming rights to the big arena that plays the sports ball in Los Angeles, Staples Center, now Crypto.com. Yeah. People down here are calling it the Crypt.
Ooh,
that's not. I don't think that's a good thing to do around here, because with the Crips and the blood history in the streets, Basil, I don't think taking a side on that issue is a good call. But anyway, this tweet from Crypto.com features a guy named Ozan Gonin, a 3D artist and storyteller, and they show this piece here, and it's captioned, his first collection reimagines the story of Atlas in an intergalactic setting, offering different perspectives of the Greek Titans experience. And it's, again, it's an art piece. It's got what looks like, I guess, a female figure held upside down by strings, kind of like supposedly floating in space or something. And interestingly, the ground being some kind of firmament thing. But hey, reference to Greek Titans specifically. Crypto.com, good job. Not giving away their worldview there at all. But to kick it to you, Basil, Cardano, back to them. They have these big projects happening in Africa, and modernizing Africa and building the blockchain worlds and everything, the economy in Africa. And I think that's a pretty good setup for your Flippy update.
Speaking of Wakanda,
Do you want fries with that?
this story is coming from GhanaWeb.com. Real quick, Gonz, check your signal. Also, GhanaWeb.com. The headline is, 2 Kenyans invent world's first bio-robotic arm operated by brain signals. And the photos available of their robot are outstanding. I mean, the only way I can put it is it looks like cosplay. Like, it is so steampunky, beautiful. It looks like something that would be, you'd see somebody walking around Comic-Con or something. But the headline goes like this: 2 Kenyan inventors have created what is said to be the world's first bio-robotic arm operated by brain signals. The invention, which is controlled by brain signals, has been billed as a game changer in the lives of disabled people in Kenya. David Gatu and Moses Kenyua invention differs from most prosthetic technology, which is powered by a person's muscles. The arm works by converting brain signals into electric current by a neuronode biopotential headset receiver. What? Neuronode. Neuronode biopotential was originally invented to help people suffering from paralysis and speech loss. The electric current is then driven into the robot's circuitry, which gives the arm its mobility. According to Euronews, the arm has several component materials, including recycled wood, and moves vertically and horizontally. This technology makes it possible for disabled people to drive, operate a device like a computer or a phone, switch on and off lights just by thinking. The inventors say the idea to develop an electronic prosthetic came to them during the pandemic as part of their contribution towards assisting Kenya to battle the pandemic. It was initially created to help COVID-19 sanitation efforts, of course. Mm-hmm. That's the reason all robots have been created in the past 2 years. Quote, when the virus hit our country, we decided to create a machine that could help decontaminate surfaces. It can also be used in schools, restaurants, and hospitals. Shop Black quotes Kenyua was as saying. Shop Black quotes Kenyua as saying. With Kenya successfully limiting the spread of the pandemic, Gatu and Kenyua repurposed their invention towards assisting the disabled in Kenya. Quote, the reason why we designed this bio-robotic hand is because we wanted to help those people who have lost the use of their limbs, the disabled people. Our aim is to give them something that will help them or will aid them to go into their daily activities, to move from a dependent person to an independent person, Gatu told AP. According to AP, more than 1 million people in Kenya live with disabilities, many of whom lost their limbs in accidents or polio. Gatu and Kenyua make their bio-robotic prosthetic arm from second-hand parts salvaged from any old discarded electronics. Quote, at this moment, we use raw materials from other discarded appliances because we do not have neither the place nor the resources to obtain necessary materials to mass produce. Gatu and Kenyua are both college dropouts. They dropped out of college due to a lack of money. However, it did not stop the two inventors from learning and inventing. Unfortunately for the duo, funding remains a challenge for mass production of the prosthetic, which is still at the prototype stage. Prototypes, baby. Gonz, Wakanda is here. There is a secret pool of talent creating never-before-seen robotics from the scraps found in the trash. Now, do I fully understand the concept of their neuronode that, at least at the beginning of this article, sounded like the neuroelectricity powered the robot? I'm assuming that's a translation issue, and the neuro electrical signals are used to control the robot. But what do I know? They claim that this is being reported by AP, although no sources are linked. I'm a little suspicious of it, but hey, that would be so Amerocentric of me. Yeah. And as we've learned through our studies of Afrofuturism that we had long discussions about, maybe at the beginning of 2021 or earlier.
I think it was earlier than that. Yeah.
And you don't want to underestimate the Wakandan industriousness.
The Wakanda industrial order. Yeah, that's true. You had mentioned the whole Afrofuturism and this idea that come to this thinking of the West versus the East, World War III, China versus America, but I think quietly they're setting up Africa to be kind of the next big nation powerhouse, center of the world kind of thing.
There's definitely a movement towards that, especially with the Chinese. I mean, whether or not it's controlled by Africans,
right?
It may end up
yes,
being manipulated and controlled by the Chinese or other sort of imperial powers. But
well, I think that's kind of the war or the race for the U.S. to get in there, and institutions like the World Health Organization have already been there doing their thing for years. So I don't know. It's just an interesting thought in terms of the development of the technology. I know they want to bring the Africa up to speed when it comes to technology, access to it, and everything else. But we'll see how this helps. Actually, I just like the way it looks. I think it just looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes it so suspicious.
It is suspicious,
It literally looks like it's from a Wakanda-based Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It's too aesthetically pleasing in sort of a steampunky way. It's like a movie prop more than anything else. And, yeah, who knows? They claim to not have the funds that they need. Oh, a lot of it's made out of wood, by the way.
Yeah, that was interesting too.
Metal. Very aesthetic looking, which they definitely put energy into making it look aesthetic. But it's robots are more than just the building something in the shape of a robot. You need computers and coding and things like that. Maybe they have a computer there. But I think, is this real or not is the wrong question. I think it's about like you said, the social setup for sort of centralizing,
techno,
or at least introducing, the sort of Afrocentric technological boom that would be, that's been sort of hinted at for, a few years, if not close to a decade. We've had world powers, world leaders come out and talk about how Africa is the future. Africa is the center of growth for the, going into the new century.
Yeah.
Mainly, they like saying that because it helps them get funding to go in and rob Africa.
Yeah, exactly. What they've been doing. Yeah, this is the tactic that's been ongoing for decades. Yeah. Since World War II, they've used Africa as sort of just a place to loot,
it's like
for their own
bank,
thing.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyways, there you go. We couldn't pass up this beautiful flippy arm allegedly coming out of the e-waste of Africa.
Well, here's a little detail that you may have missed if you're not paying attention here. This is the two Kenyans who invent this, and their names, David Gathu and Moses Kinyua. It's David and Moses. It's the two witnesses, Basil, of Africa. David and Moses are bringing the robot revolution to Kenya.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It needs to be biblical, and it's gonna be biblical.
It's gonna definitely be biblical. Everything is gonna be biblical. Okay, so
real quick to clarify, Gonz.
Yes,
I need the Signal app. Will you answer my question?
Check your Signal. That's what you meant. Yeah. Okay, I didn't. When you said check your Signal, I thought my connection. I was like, oh,
I understand.
What are you talking about? I have perfect connection to the internet.
Trying to keep the show going and also have secret conversations behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I was asking if you wanted anything from Starbucks here.
The pagan temple? No, keep me away from
orange mocha frappuccino.
Keep me away from the pagan temple, please. The gross symbolism, propaganda of the siren on there. Don't need it.
This is very good stalling you're doing. I'm appreciating it very much.
Yeah, this is multitasking for you. Okay, I will get on that here in a minute.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we do have a great reset report here.
We need a great reset.
And this is interesting. dailycaller.com, and the article is headlined, Poll, Americans prefer hosting Joe Rogan for Thanksgiving over Dr. Fauci. And I put this in the Great Reset category because this is part of it. The move from a lot of the traditional institutional infrastructure over to more of this, I don't know what to call it. It's kind of alternative, but it's becoming mainstream, more internet jungle type of thing, just out in the wild. Not like, I don't know how to explain it. Basil, help me out. You're trying to hide from commenting on this? I know you have thoughts.
I think I totally zoned out for a second. I don't even know what we're talking about. You talking about our Great Reset section here?
Yeah. No, okay.
Did you read it?
Yeah, no, I haven't read it yet. But I'm talking about. I put it in the Great Reset category because they're basically. I think this represents a move from.
Oh, you're talking about out with the old, in with the new.
Pretty much, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
okay. So, all right, set up. Majority of Americans prefer hosting Joe Rogan for Thanksgiving dinner than Dr. Fauci. The results of a poll published Sunday showed. The poll, conducted from November 11th to the 16th by Republican-leaning Trafalgar Group and Convention of States, found that 51.3% of the respondents chose inviting Rogan over to their holiday dinner, compared to only 48.7% who said they would rather host Fauci. And it shows the tweet there. It says 51.3% Rogan, 48.7% Fauci, but there's like a graphic here. And what does it say? Who would you rather attend for Thanksgiving dinner?
You're talking about the discrepancies in the image that you're seeing.
Yeah, it's way bigger.
Well,
it's 82
because
to
one
17.
of them, they did a number of these. Remember, this is a conservative group, so they polled just GOP members, like just Republicans. 80, and when just Republicans were asked, it was 82.9% for Joe Rogan and 17.1% for Anthony Fauci. But in the no party or other category, it was 61% for Joe Rogan and 38.2% for Dr. Fauci. It is interesting how they're not showing the Republican. Not showing the Democrat graph.
Probably because it aligns with the rest of it, and they're just like,
yeah. So I think the average, what they did was average that out or something
to make it less of a discrepancy.
I'm clicking in deep, baby. I'm clicking in deep into the report here.
Well, let me just keep reading a little bit of it, too, because it might explain it. Among Republican voters...
Well, I found the Democrat list.
Oh, you did? What is it?
The Democrat list was 16.9% for Joe, 83% for Anthony Fauci. So almost a direct opposite to the Republicans.
Interesting. Oh, no, it does...
No parties, Joe Rogan was the favorite there.
Yeah, well, so, okay. Point is... I feel like this is, the details are whatever with the poll. With the Democrats, though, that's kind of interesting. I don't even believe that's true. I feel like every time there's a Democrat poll, it's like bots. It's not even real people.
Why would you think that?
I don't know. Because I'm biased.
I think that makes sense to me. I think most people who would identify themselves as Democrats would, they're trained. They're programmed to... think Joe Rogan is, just some sort of like white supremacist, something or other. And another interesting part of this report was it was mostly females who answered the question.
Oh, that could do something. Yeah. So who would you rather have, Basil, Joe Rogan or Dr. Fauci?
Joe Rogan, obviously.
Obviously, really?
But not for the obvious reasons. Here's the thing with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan just has a lot more to talk about. You could talk about aliens, you could talk about DMT,
well, hey,
you could talk about comedy. Fauci's a one-trick pony. You just sit there and tell me that I'm a bad person.
Well, here's the thing with Fauci, though. You get Fauci to sit down with you for a while, and you can really.
Let them open up a little bit.
Yeah, give them a few drinks. Do a Project Veritas style. I'll have every microphone, every vase with a plant in it is a microphone.
So you would rather entrap Fauci.
Trap Fauci. Hey, listen, tell me what really happened with Wuhan there. What's the real story?
I wonder what would be better for our podcast. If we had a podcast with Joe Rogan or a podcast with Anthony Fauci.
I don't know. Well, I bet the Joe Rogan one would attract, like, just as a sheer numbers thing, would attract people to just be like, who are these weirdos doing a podcasting, trying to be like Joe, which we're not, but that's what the Joe people would say.
Well, I think having Joe on would be more like getting the blessing from the podcaster guy, like,
how do I want that from
Joe? Put us
Joe?
in a certain category. Here's what I would like about having Fauci on is we would actually get to, like,
grill him.
That would actually be
Legit.
More valuable
Yes.
in the actual, I don't know, world, I think.
The minds
having
of
Joe
people.
Rogan on is more like, oh yay, we get to, like, talk to Joe Rogan, huzzah. But if it was actually Anthony Fauci, we could ask questions and actually grill him. I think it would be much more valuable for the world if we had Fauci on.
I think it'll be way better to ask Fauci where the aliens are.
You talk to Fauci about ayahuasca. We have Fauci on and try to have a total Joe Rogan conversation with Fauci.
Give him a few drinks and then ask him the hard-hitting questions.
Where are the aliens?
We have completely gone off the deep end here. So, as this pertains to the Great Reset, part of what we've seen, what we've tracked in the trends and the inklings of the new world order, is a shift from sort of an old world establishment into building the sort of new world aristocracy. And the new world aristocracy is, people like Mark Zuckerberg versus Bill Gates.
Right. There you go.
Bill Gates,
that's what I was trying to say earlier. Well done. Yes, the aristocracy thing. That's a good point. Sorry, go on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this is another data point in tracking that trend, in that Joe Rogan is sort of,
he's been crowned
more of a new world order type of royalty than Fauci, who, he's been in the game for 40 years or something like that. He's had his chance, and it's time to turn the page. It's time for him to retire, honestly. That dude is like 80 years old. That is the thing that blows my mind with the elites around the world, is like,
they keep doing it.
They just need to go to Fiji and sit on the beach for a while. You did your job. You helped the lizard people. You got your millions. Don't the lizard people let you retire at all?
You know what it is? You know what it is? They're probably this is complete conjecture. This is not a report. Just my bad take / joke. He's probably addicted to some kind of substance that is only accessible through the lizard people, and so he must continue to work to keep access to this particular substance.
Sure. Well, there you go, folks. We've figured it out.
Baby blood.
Okay. Was that all about that?
Well, I will just say that whether Joe Rogan knows it or not, or whether he is aware of it or not, I feel like he has been chosen for that next class of media empire, whatever it is, for the New World Order. And so he gets more daily viewers than pretty much all the corporate news media combined. Yeah. So, okay. Let's talk about COVID.
It's Corona time. COVID-19, 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 yes. COVID-19, COVID-19, coronavirus.
Vaccine, number one way.
Okie dokie. This lines up with the theme we've been running with the show here. So But while I read this, Gonz, why don't you get back to me on Signal there? This is coming from apnews.com, the actual apnews.com, not some alleged apnews.com. But the headline reads, "Scientists mystified and wary as Africa avoids COVID disaster."
Ooh.
Yeah, Africa. At a busy market in a poor township outside Harare this week, Nyasha Nduo kept his mask in his pocket as hundreds of other people, mostly unmasked, jostled to buy and sell fruit and vegetables displayed on wooden tables and plastic sheets. As in much of Zimbabwe, here the coronavirus is quickly being relegated to the past as political rallies, concerts, and home gatherings have returned. Quote, "COVID-19 is gone. When did you last hear of anyone who has died of COVID-19? Nduo said. Quote, "The mask is to protect my pocket." I like this guy. "The mask is to protect my pocket," he said. "The police demand bribes, so I lose money if I don't move around with a mask." Earlier this week, Zimbabwe recorded just 33 new COVID-19 cases. 33 cases and 0 deaths, in line with a recent fall in the disease across the continent, where the World Health Organization data show that infections have been dropping since July. When the coronavirus first emerged last year, health officials feared the pandemic would sweep across Africa, killing millions. Although it's still unclear what COVID-19's ultimate toll will be, that catastrophic scenario has yet to materialize in Zimbabwe, or much of the continent. Scientists emphasize that obtaining accurate COVID-19 data, particularly in African countries, with patchy surveillance. They're not safe from COVID. We're just bad at surveillance in Africa.
Yeah, no, that was the thing I was going to point out too. That is very funny. Mm-hmm. It's almost like they're admitting, like, well, we got to catch up on the surveillance aspect of Africa, which goes in line with what we were talking about too.
Much of the continent doesn't have traditional sewers, so the governments can't come in and do their sewer surveillance program.
That's all they got to tap into is the sewage.
Scientists emphasize that obtaining accurate COVID-19 data, particularly in African countries with patchy surveillance, is extremely difficult, and warn that declining coronavirus trends could be easily reversed. But there is something mysterious going on in Africa that is puzzling scientists. Mysterious, said Wafa'a El-Saider, chair of global health at Columbia University. Quote, "Africa doesn't have the vaccines and the resources to fight COVID-19 that they have in Europe and the US, but somehow they seem to be doing it better," she said. "Fewer than 6% of people in Africa are vaccinated." I didn't know it was that low. I knew it was low. I did not know it was that low. For months, the WHO has described Africa as, quote, "one of the least affected regions in the world" in its weekly pandemic reports. Some researchers say the continent's younger population, the average age is 20 versus about 43 in Europe, in addition to their lower rates of urbanization and tendency to spend time outdoors, may have spared it the more lethal effects of the virus so far. Several studies are probing whether there might be other explanations, including genetic reasons, gotta make it racial, or past infection with parasitic diseases. That's pretty strange that they would even suggest that there were genetic reasons when in the U.S., African Americans allegedly are the most at-risk population.
Yeah, I am starting. I'm starting to think, and going along with the theme of this episode, with the topic of the race war we've covered in the last few episodes, and it's an ongoing issue. I don't know. I'm trying to look for some stuff to see if there's anything on it out there, but it feels like, and this is just a feeling, that the whole COVID rollout was literally and plus the vaccine aspect of it, not just compliance, but the actual jab itself, was all meant to be rolled out to target Caucasians, European descent, the white people. That's what it's starting to feel like, Basil. I don't know if that's just like an off-base take or something, but it just feels like the U.S., Australia, the U.K., but then Africa, they're like, oh, and then in the U.S., they're like a extra protected class. The black population, oh, they're higher risk. We got to do all this stuff. We got to all lock down. We got to do all this stuff because the black population is more at risk.
Well,
it just feels.
Well, what it is in the U.S., the black community, African Americans or others who fit into that category, they're used as a tool by the political and scientific establishment. It's just the unfortunate truth of it that, when you talk about racism in America, one of the most highly perpetrated acts of racism in America is the African American community is held hostage by the political and scientific establishments. They are used by both political parties, but just politicians in general. They're used as a group for one reason or another to affect the moral judgments or influence the moral votes of the voters. They're held up as the statistics on the African American community are used as a weapon against the African American community. I mean, it's if you want to talk about racism in America, the biggest problem is that group of people is exploited and used by the establishment, not by Joe Schmo, who's a Second Amendment advocate or something. It's now we're getting into going down a little bit of a rabbit hole, so I'll avoid that real quick. But the point stands, and so I hear you there, but I really think that they were trying to get the older population, the older, I guess, American or Western upper white class, a whole bunch of them to die. Like I feel like that was the goal of this whole thing, to get all because they have a lot of money, they hold a lot of the wealth and assets and whatever. And so if you're talking about a great reset and shifting the economics to maybe away from America into a place like Africa to build Wakanda, how are we going to fund it more so than just like a political way in terms of the surface of bills and whatever? If you're thinking about the world elite and how to shift things around, that would be a perfect way to do it, because it would make sense. All this racial propaganda about the white supremacy and everything else happening in this country would fit in the context of, hey, we're starting to suck some liquidity out of this generation that holds a lot of stuff, because they were part of the first wave of the benefits of the Industrial Revolution and getting, a bunch of people out of poverty. There's all the white people that got out of poverty. So, that's kind of what I think from a racial social perspective might be going on. At least overlapping incentives towards the goal you're talking about. So anyways, I'll leave that there.
Sure.
Anywho, this is way off track from
it's okay.
From this article.
We're just talking about the implications here. Yeah. It's okay.
Continuing on with the AP article. On Friday, researchers working in Uganda said they found COVID-19 patients with high rates of exposure to malaria were less likely to suffer severe disease or death than people with little history of the disease. Oh my gosh, there's a little clue right there, Gonz. They're saying patients who have had high exposure to malaria were less likely to suffer bad COVID. What is one thing that people who have high contact with malaria, what do they also have high contact with, Gonz? Hydroxychloroquine, a malarial drug.
Right.
You have probably, I haven't actually seen the numbers, but I could bet that the highest rates of hydroxychloroquine use are in Africa. And they said right here, researchers working in Uganda said they found that COVID-19 patients with high rates of exposure to malaria were less likely to suffer severe disease or death than people with little history of the disease. If you have a history with malaria, that means you have been on or you continue to take for prophylactic purposes anti-malarial drugs, including hydroxychloroquine. Look, I'm not a hydroxychloroquine pusher. I think, obviously, there's been some huge problems as to how the media handled the hydroxychloroquine.
Or any treatment,
issue,
for that matter. Or
any treatment that's not a vaccine, of course.
Yeah.
But they are literally saying, they are implying in this Associated Press article that populations who have high contact with hydroxychloroquine get less COVID. Just saying, it's in the news. It's right here. Quote, we went into the project thinking we would see a higher rate of negative outcomes in people with a history of malaria infections because that's what was seen in patients co-infected with malaria and Ebola, said Jane Achan, a senior research advisor at the Malaria Consortium and co-author of the study. We were actually quite surprised to see the opposite, that malaria may have a protective effect. So not the medications that cured your malaria, but the malaria itself, this disease, will protect you from COVID. They won't even let it wander into the news article that it could have something to do not with
who said that?
Malaria, but the medication for malaria.
This is the senior research advisor at the Malaria Consortium who said that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. How big was your check? That is ridiculous.
Totally.
Come on.
Achan said this may suggest that past infection with malaria could blunt the tendency of people's immune system to go into overdrive when they are infected with COVID-19. The research was presented Friday at a meeting of the American Society of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene. If there is any place that has a group of doctors that have talked about hydroxychloroquine before COVID-19. Before COVID-19, the American Society of Tropical Medicine was probably the epicenter of praise for hydroxychloroquine. These are the highest, this is the group of doctors who have the highest knowledge of hydroxychloroquine before COVID-19. And they're the ones saying, malaria, the dangerous and deadly disease, will protect you from COVID.
Well, they would have to, that would be the only reason why, is that they know the facts, but there's a mandate. They probably got a note or something no, absolutely, at no point can you promote hydroxychloroquine or say anything positive about it. And so now they have to say ridiculous stuff like that.
Well, yeah, it might be it's kind of a sneaky play, Yeah. It's to get malaria into the conversation as an effective protectant against COVID-19.
Right.
Maybe they know that if they say hydroxychloroquine, they'll all lose their medical licenses.
Yeah.
And so if they start the conversation at malaria...
just get malaria, yeah. And then because they know the treatment is what also protects from COVID, allegedly. Interesting.
There's some interesting angles there. Okay, let's keep going. Christian Happy, director of the African Center for Excellence in Genomics and Infectious Diseases at Redeemers University in Nigeria, said authorities are used to curbing outbreaks even without vaccines, and credited the extensive networks of community health workers. Quote, it's not always about how much money you have or how sophisticated your hospitals are, he said. Devi Sridhar, chair of the Global Public Health at University of Edinburgh, said African leaders haven't gotten the credit they deserve for acting quickly, citing Mali's decision to close its borders before COVID-19 even arrived. Well, Trump tried it and was called a racist, but okay. Yeah, I'm sure Mali did a good job. Quote, I think there's a different cultural approach in Africa, where these countries have approached COVID with a sense of humility because they've experienced things like Ebola, polio, and malaria. In the past months, the coronavirus has pummeled South Africa and is estimated to have killed more than 89,000 people there, by far the most deaths on the continent. But for now, African authorities, while acknowledging that there could be gaps are not reporting huge numbers of unexpected fatalities that might be COVID related. WHO data shows that deaths in Africa make up just 3% of the global total. In comparison, deaths in the Americas and Europe account for 46% and 29%. In Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, the government has recorded nearly 3,000 deaths so far among its 200 million population. The U.S. records that many deaths. The U.S. records that many deaths every 2 or 3 days. I did not know there's 200 million people in Nigeria. That is, at least approaching the population of the U.S., and they've only had 3,000 deaths.
And Nigeria, wasn't Nigeria the spot where they introduced the CBDC, central bank digital currency, and can't access a bank without a passport, a vaccine passport? Yeah.
Yeah, so weird.
Again,
that's a nice little piece of propaganda for you.
It was never about the virus. If Nigeria's proof, they didn't actually have a whole problem.
The bad part is that would be used as evidence for vaccine passports.
I know.
You could say, hey, we need the vaccine passport. Look, Nigeria did it, and they've only had 3,000 deaths. But that only works, again, how to lie with statistics, that only works if you don't also tell people that the entire continent of Africa only, has the lowest amount of deaths than anywhere in the world. So again, if you leave out that little detail, Nigeria could be used as a propaganda tool to push the vaccine passports.
Yeah. Well, that would make sense with the hydroxychloroquine conversation there too, with the malaria stuff and all that.
Yeah, it's a perfect little propaganda factory.
It's just crazy. Yeah, that's wild, man.
Did you have anything highlighted in this?
No.
Kind of just rambles on for about 15 more paragraphs, but I can skip to the bottom.
You can skip to the bottom. I don't think there's much. I didn't highlight much there, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting story, but also, again, I've mentioned it before. We don't plan a theme for these episodes, but it always tends to work out
naturally develops.
Yeah, each episode or a series of episodes, there's usually a theme or something that just comes to the surface with stuff going on out there. So,
yeah.
But it is a funny headline, though. Scientists mystified. They have no idea what's going on in Africa. How come nobody's getting COVID? How come nobody's dying from COVID?
And to review and put it into the context of Afrofuturism, which, again, in past episodes, we've broken down the whole Afrofuturism conversation happening globally. But considering that the coronavirus pandemic is the catalyst for moving into the next phase of the New World Order, the fact that Africa has been the least affected by coronavirus and also has been used to put some of the most stringent control mechanisms in place because of the pandemic, and because of these hints towards genetic reasons, as well as the ignoring of possibly helpful medications like hydroxychloroquine, or at least referencing malaria, which is not just in Africa, but very prevalent in Africa. It all works in favor of centering the future of the human race and both technological and social and governance improvements on Africa. So it's a trend that we spotted a while back, but it's really building a strong case for what they may have planned for Africa, which is not great news for the U.S. because China is the foreign country that holds the most property and financial sway on the continent. So it's definitely set up for some very serious transformation as we move forward in this new world order.
Yeah, and for those of you who may be new to the conversation about Africa, look up Akon. Look up Akon City in your search engines there, and you'll find that there's a rapper building a crypto city in Africa.
Yep, smart cities is it's a real hub for the smart city development programs.
Yeah. Okay, you want to take a quick break here?
Let's do it. Okay, folks, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere, because after the break, we got more show. We're going to be checking in with some developments regarding January 6th and the response to that. But first, we want to take a second and thank some producers. That's right. I said producers. Because we are on the value for value model, baby, which means we have no advertisements, no affiliate codes, no YouTube partnerships, no Twitch money, and we're not selling any male enhancement supplements or freedom phones, baby. Nope, we are strictly on the value for value model. What is that, you might be asking yourself? Well, dear listener, the value for value model is simple. We create value, we do it 3 times a week, and if you get any value out of what we do, you have the opportunity or the responsibility to put some value back into the system. Not just because, we're trying to, buy a new Tesla or something, but because it's the only way that this works. Corporate money equals corporate influence, which equals truly not independent media. The only way to keep independent media truly independent is to completely divest ourselves from any corporate money. And so then some people consider it their responsibility to keep independent media going. Because without the support of the producers, and we do call them producers because this is the real world, and if you pay to have a piece of media produced, you are a producer. The producers have decided that they've recognized, rather, that the advertising industry is the reason we are in so much trouble today as a species. First of all, Google, Facebook, all the evil big tech giants, they make all their money, 99% of it, off of advertisements. Mark Zuckerberg testified to Congress that they are just an advertising company. It's the reason for big data concerns. It's the reason for privacy concerns. Really, most big societal issues boil down to the incentivization of advertising corporations and the advertising industry as a whole. They use the most sophisticated psychological sciences to manipulate people all over the world, not just for their own personal gain, but for the gain of profit and influence for their customers, and they do it at the expense of you. They know the tricks to manipulate your psychology, and they incentivize creators like Gonz and I to gain as much listeners, as much trust, as much attention as we possibly can, so that we can turn around and sell you to the advertising industry. And we decided long ago that that is just so wrong, and we are committed to not bending on that ideology that we hold. It's just wrong. We wouldn't be able to sleep at night if we made our money by packing up our listeners into a big truck and selling it all off for our own personal gain. So that's why we're on the value for value model, folks, and that's why we want to thank some producers right now. Gonz, are you ready?
Sort of.
Okay. Do you want me to wait?
No.
Okay.
I am here. Yes, I am ready.
Okay. So if you want to become a producer, folks, pray about it. Think about the value you get out of this show. Put a number on it that is important to you, and you can head on over to CanaryCry.com/support. There's plenty of ways to become a producer. You can support the show with your cryptocurrency. You can join in with a monthly producership if you want to commit to keeping the show going. We're very thankful for our monthly producers for helping lay down a firm foundation for the show. And but if commitment is not your thing, you can go ahead and make a one-time producership in any amount. And there's a lot of ways to do that. Did we hit the CanaryCryRadio.com/support jingle?
CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
That's right. Head on over there. Gonz, who do we have coming in?
All right. Well, are we moving the Patreon down? Have we done that officially yet? Because I see it first
we
on the
haven't
list
really
here.
figured out like a smooth way to do that. But yes, we are moving the Patreon down.
Okay. So for today, we don't have any executive producers or associate executive producers as of right now. We do have some calendar producers to thank. You want to do that real quick first?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll go fast. Do you have any of the calendar pages pulled up?
I don't.
I don't either. I don't have them on this computer, but I could figure it out real quick.
I can zoom into January.
We already did January.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Wow.
But here's the thing, folks. The Canary Cry calendar for 2022 is ready to ship. It's very exciting. If you weren't aware, this is completely producer created. Gonz and I have nothing to do with this except for occasionally approving of the work that they are doing. Producers of the show get together and they created a physical Canary Cry calendar, and it is really a beautiful piece. It is completely designed by producers of the show. It features art from beloved artists of the show, and it's completely jam-packed with Canary Cry quotes and Bible verses and even more, completely jammed with important dates throughout the year that would be relevant to the weird and funky crowd of Canarians. Things like, well, what do you got pulled up, Gonz? What, you have any months pulled up?
Oh, hold on. No, I don't. Sorry.
Okay. Hold on. I'll pull some up on my side just to give some people the taste of what we're looking at. This is the second year in a row that the producers have put this together, and it's quickly becoming the most sought-after sort of Canary Cry collectible. Let's do August. You got August?
August. Yep. Give me 10 seconds. 9. Are you going to count? 8.
Why are you counting?
So I can get the
7.
page up.
Okay, everybody. 6. Yeah.
All right.
5. Here we go.
Here it is. You can stop. You can stop.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
That was fast, Gonz. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at the August calendar. We've got, for our Canary Cry quote from episode 408, we have Basil. The jingles just keep getting more robotic. Just one sine wave. Gonz, that's where everything's headed, you know. It's the singularity. Basil, like in 40 years when we're old and gray, Gonz, the whole podcast will just sound like a mix between a sort of dubstep song and binaural beats. That's just how the news will be transmitted. Booyah. Then we've got Jude 1:20 through 23 on this page. And in August, some notable dates. August 2nd, 1964 was the Gulf of Tonkin. August 8th is International Cat Day. August 10th, in 1925, the world's first car completely controlled by remote control. Really? In 1925 was a remote control car? That's bizarre. And of course, August 10th, 2019 was the day that Epstein didn't kill himself.
Interesting. So he didn't kill himself on the anniversary of the first car being controlled remotely.
Oh, there's a connection there.
There's a Mr. Transhuman man.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe it's the day
he was controlled by remote control.
That's what I'm saying. He transitioned into being completely remote controlled.
Wow, what an interesting connection found by the calendar producers here. On August 15th, 1971, the dollar was taken off the gold standard.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The downfall of the economy right there.
Yes. And on the 17th is National Black Cat Appreciation Month. Ooh, spooky. On August 22nd.
Do you think did that happen because on the 8th is International Cat Day, and the black cat people were like, hey, our cats deserve its own day. So like a week later,
I'm thinking that is the case. August 27th in 565, the year 565.
You mean 22nd?
Sure, 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
The year 565 was the earliest recorded sighting of the Loch Ness Monster.
There you go.
I did not know that it was that old.
Reptilians have been around. Our reptile overlords were seen in the past.
Seriously. August 26th, 1946 was Operation High Jump commencing.
Yeah.
August 29th, today through September 5th, 2022 is Burning Man. Oh, they got Burning Man
August,
on there.
Yeah.
Fun. So there you go. All sorts of fun stuff jam-packed into this calendar. And this calendar is a free gift for those producers who want to come in and help us start out the year 2022 strong by becoming a monthly producer in the amount of 2022. And you can do that by heading over to CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. At the top of the page, there's a whole paragraph there and some pictures of the calendar and a big button. And click on that button, put in to 2022, make sure to make it a monthly producership and put in your address, and we would love to send you this free gift of the Canary Cry calendar for 2022. And we've had some people sign up for that since last episode, Gonz.
All right.
And we want to give them a shout out here.
Okay.
And that is producer Stephen S. in the calendar.
Thank you, Stephen S.
Producer Palmer B. is getting a calendar.
Thank you, Palmer
Producer Thomas C. is getting a calendar.
Thank you, Thomas C.
And producer Liz D. is getting a calendar.
Thank you, Liz D.
You're getting a calendar. You're getting a calendar. Yeah, and this is super cool. The first batch is going to be shipped somewhere around December 4th. So it should arrive, depending on, shipping stuff in the New World Order. It should arrive by Christmas. So if you want to have it by then, I would say get in quick and sign up to get a calendar. And what else? Oh, there's not necessarily an unlimited supply, folks. This is a limited supply.
Ooh, we gotta do supply.
Yes, we got to do it in small batches because they are printed and created here in America, baby. So it's an American-made product, and of course, all lovingly designed and crafted and shipped by actual producers of the show, to whom we are so very grateful. So there you go. Go sign up. Get your calendars, folks. Make sure you fill out the whole thing. You got to click the monthly box because it's a donation. We're not in the business of retail. They don't let us sort of set it all up for you. So you kind of have to click on the button, make sure to click the monthly thing, and make sure to put your address in. There you go. Okay, on to thanking the rest of the producers, Gonz.
All right. So, as I stated there, no executive producers, no associate executive producers, but
that time of year.
It is that time of year. We do want to start off by thanking, or not start off, but continue with thanking Scott K.
Scott K, thank you very much, buddy. Scott K, big exciting day for Scott K.
You didn't.
I know. Hold on.
Okay.
Scott K is on a streak.
We're going streaking! Come on, everybody, we're going!
Scott K has officially reached the level of 77 episodes in a row supporting the show, which is very exciting. Scott K has reached perfection. Perfection. Thank you very much, Scott K. Always very exciting hitting these new levels, especially up when you're as high on the streak as he is. And Scott K comes in with 77. Thank you very much, Scott K. And he comes in with a note here. That's a nice big backpack full of sevens. And his note says, made it to 77. With this producership, I have made it to the round table. I have given a lot of thought to my knight name. I wanted to do something with the armor of God, the sword of truth. So from now on, please call me Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. Very exciting. Thank you very much, Scott K., for your continued producership. And if you're new to the show, the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames is a group of elite nobility and producership of people who have produced the show in the amount of $1,000 or more over time or all at once. And because of their commitment to keeping the show going, we like to, they be knighted. They be knighted, man. And we'll be knighting Scott K. at the end of the segment and thanking him and giving him his seat at the Canary Cry Roundtable. Thank you very much, Scott K. Quite an accomplishment. We're so thankful for your continued producership.
Yeah, I have a visitor. Sorry, Scott K.
Is it a baby?
She's not a baby anymore. She's considered toddler.
Big girl.
Yes. What I was going to say was that Scott K executed perfection by hitting 77 episodes in a row and knighting him, or not knighting himself, but becoming a knight on that 77th episode. That is perfection.
Yeah. You planned it out perfectly. He's the man. Thank you very much, Scott K. Who's next?
You might need to take over for a minute. I need to
All right.
address the situation here.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We might be thanking people without jingles here. But next up on the list, we have producer Brian D. Brian D. comes in for $18.32. Thank you very much, Brian D. And I did not see a note from Brian D. Gonz. I don't even know if Gonz is here or not. Nope, he is completely gone. Thank you very much, Brian D. I'll give you my vocal gong. Boing. Thank you, Brian D. Next up, we have producer Amanda P., who is on a streak. You're on a streak. Women rule. Thank you very much, Amanda P. Supporting the show 11 episodes in a row. Comes in with 1111 in fees and a note. It says, Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Hope you both have a great week. God bless. Thank you very much, Amanda P. Next up, we have Jackie U., who is on a streak. You're on a streak. Women rule. And I believe Jackie has been supporting the show for 6 episodes in a row. Thank you very much, Jackie. Let me double check that actually real quick. Jackie. Yes, 6 episodes in a row. Thank you, Jackie, you, for your 1111. Next up, we have producer Morv. Morv is on a streak. You're on a streak. Thank you very much, producer Morv, who has been supporting the show for 25 episodes in a row. Wow, I forgot to do all this earlier, so I'm doing this all live. Thank you very much, Morv. Morv sends a note that says, Happy Thanksgiving, brothers. So thankful for this awesome community of believers and for your steadfast work for the kingdom of heaven. Keep pressing on and fighting the good fight. 2 Timothy 4:7-8. Thank you very much, producer Morv. Let's see how quickly I can pull up 2 Timothy 4:7-8. It says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. Amen. Shoo-wee. Hallelujah, Morv. Thank you very much. Next up, we have producer Sigra the Beast. Goang. And Sigra, Sir Sigra, is on a streak. You're on a streak. 54 episodes in a row. Oh, man. So many vocal jingles. Sir Sigra comes in for the 1001 producership. 1001. Amen. Thank you very much, Sir Sigra. Sir Sigra sent a note that says, I got my cats to stop begging me for bacon. As I baked some yesterday, I turned the bleep out of one slice. Oh, I burnt the bleep out of one slice and, quote-unquote, accidentally dropped the bad slice on the ground. They took one bite of it, spit it out, glared at me, and haven't begged for any since. Wow, what a cruel joke those cats have experienced there. But yeah, that's one way to get your cats to stop begging for bacon is give them a big piece of charcoal, and they will quickly change their minds about that. Sir Sigur the Beast, I think I said think I got your streak mixed up. You are on a 12-episode streak. Huh, weird. Sorry about that. Next up, we have producer Heather Russ, who came in for 777. Thank you very much, Heather Russ. And you are also on a streak. You're on a streak. We're going streaking. Women rule. Thanks, Heather Russ. 29 episodes in a row for Heather Russ. Okay. Let me double check the emails real quick, see if anybody came in a little late.
I kind of just like listening to you do all the sound effects. This is very nice for me. I think I might just let you finish it off here.
I'm having fun. I'm plugging through, man. We had Gail come in as well. Thank you very much, Gail. Guang. Oh, he's back. And Gail is on a streak.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule!
Let's see here. Gail has been supporting the show 54 episodes in a row. Let me see here, Gail. I'm sorry, I'm doing our administration live here for you, Gail.
People seem to like the acapella jingle segment.
You know what? It's certainly novel.
I think you might want to finish it off. I think the people want more.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay,
Basil.
So Gail, yes, I'm just catching myself up on Gail's notes here. Okay. Yes. So thank you very much, Gail, for your producership and your continued producership. Of course, we all know Gail has been going through a lot with the health and passing of her brother. And Gail, I sent you an email. Please respond to that email. We'll take it from there. But she says here, God will get us through this. We don't have any other family, just me and Carrie. We will survive. Can you play Women Rule for us, please? Please pray for us. So we're going to call the producers. Producers, assemble! That's right. From around the world, producers are perking up their little ears and taking a listen and putting Gail M., of course, on their list to attend to during prayer time. And let's see here. We got this jingle for you here. Women rule! There you go.
Gotta bring more rasp with that one.
Yeah, I'll get it next time. Thank you very much, Gail. And yes, get back to us from that email that we sent you. Okay, double checking. Who else came in? Oh, JC. Producer JC comes in with a pocket full of sevens. And JC is on a streak. We're going streaking. JC has produced the show for doggy. I would not be able to be doing this all live if I was on the VR headset. This is episode 40 for JC. 40 episodes in a row. Thank you very much, JC. And a note, it is Wednesday, my dudes. Hope you both have an excellent holiday. And may your turkeys be basted, not boosted. Nobody likes you, booster. Thank you very much, JC. Okay. Are you putting these people in there as I'm reading them live? If you could, that would be great.
No, I'm not. I'm not touching anything. But
oh, jeez. Wow. I feel like you now running all this stuff.
Well, I'm working on the email too. So
okay, good.
It's not
so
that
concludes all
anything.
of our producers who came in the amount of 777 or more for note reading purposes. I do want to thank a few more producers who came in under that level, and starting with producer, I didn't do any of these streaks. Hold on. I'm going to do a quick little movement just so I can have all these streaks closer. All right, we have producer Veronica D, who's on a streak. You're on a streak. Women rule! That's you, Veronica D, supporting the show 53 episodes in a row. Thank you very much. Next, we have producer Ciara, who is on a streak. You're on a streak! 49 episodes in a row. Thank you very much, Ciara. Almost to Nifty 50 Jubilee Jamboree, Ciara. Excited for that. Let's see. Next up, we have producer The Green Mountaineer, who is back on a streak, baby. Streak! 2 episodes in a row. Thank you very much. Green Mountaineer coming in for 3s and fees. Then Gail M came in again. So thank you very much, Gail. We have 57 Chevy Girl, who came in twice with 3s and fees. And who's on a streak? You're on a streak. Women rule! Yeah! 11 episodes in a row.
This is getting out of hand, but I like it.
Chevy Girl. Yes, we're breaking down. Next up, we have Sir Casey the Shield Knight. Come on! We're going streaking! 87 episodes in a row. One more episode away from that 88 streak. Thank you very much, Sir Casey, for the pocket full of 3s. Next up, we have Runk Smash. You're on a streak. Oh, yeah. I just realized I can just make up whatever I want now. Oh, yeah. Streakalicious, Runk Smash. 39 episodes in a row, coming in with 198. We will be reading your microfiction next break. And last but not least, we have Doctor Who Done Dat coming in. You're also on a streak. 24 episodes in a row for Doctor Who Done Dat. Thank you very much. Let me check something. I think that's everybody. What is today's date? The 24th? When was the last show that we did?
22nd.
Okay. This is episode 415.
415.
Okay. That concludes our list of financial producers who came in over at CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. Now, you can also come in at Patreon.com/CCNT to become a producer. I do have a couple of people to thank there. Yes, we have an upgrading producer, and that is producer Jezreel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jezreel.
Upgraded producership to 2022 to help us out for the year 2022. And we also have a new producer, and that new producer is Richard E. Thank you very much, Richard E.
Thank you, Richard.
Guang. Okay, I think I did. I think we made it. I think that's everybody.
I don't know. I feel like I should just let you run with it. Why am I working so hard over here hitting jingle buttons when you can just do it on your own and you can get creative with it, you know?
Yeah, I'm always open to that. Now that I know that I can just totally wing it, I don't have to need to stick with any format or existing jingle. That could be fun. But also, I feel like my throat is about to explode. So thank you very much to all of our financial producers of the show for keeping us going with the value for value model. And, of course, happy Thanksgiving. We have a knighthood to do, Gonz.
Oh, that's right. Okay, let's do that. Well, are you going to take out your sword, or are you gonna?
Oh yeah, here you go. You can't see it, but it's my car sword.
Car sword.
It's the one I keep in the car, you know.
You keep a sword in the car?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Just in case I get into some sort of battle.
I keep a katana on my horse here.
Okay, we want to call up Scott K. Please step forward to the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames, where we have a seat for you. Thanks to your generous support, the amount of $1,000 or more, we are proud to pronounce you Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. Please join us at the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames, where we have the belt of truthful truthiness, the breastplate of righteousness, the custom-fit Birkenstocks to carry forth the gospel of peace, the shield of ferocious faith, the helmet of substantiating salvation, the supernatural sword of the spirit, and of course, adorable samurai babies, infinitely cute kitties for cuddling. And if you're hungry, we have some fancy feast wet food, carved Cosmo CRISPR cow, and of course, fried wormicorns. Welcome, Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. The crowd goes. Lots of love in the chat and lots of gratefulness, not just from us, Scott, but of course all the producers and listeners of the show. You have been you've been one of our rocks, Scott. We appreciate your support and are honored to have you at the roundtable.
Yeah, Scott K, perfection.
You hit perfection.
It's perfection.
We'll make sure to add you to the Knighthood website there, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. And as we said, henceforth, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. I might even start by changing your name to that right now on our document.
And Knight of Truth, too. That's some pretty good
business,
linguistic real estate. Knight of Truth.
Yeah, if that was an NFT, you'd be rich.
You'd be rich.
All right, Gonz, let's thank everybody for their patronage and keep on moving.
Shut up and take my money.
Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage.
Yes, it's wake-up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
Before we move on, though, make sure to go to CanaryCry.Party and type that into your URL. Subscribe to our email list where you get the show notes, which I am putting together as we speak here. Explore all the platforms where we live stream, connect with others on social media, and you can support the show right there on the website, CanaryCry.Party. It's actually our LINKTREE. Go do it and find us doing stuff on the internet.
Do it. Do it now. Everything you could possibly want is over there.
All the things. It's a tree of links.
Okay, Gonz, get us started here.
January 6 rioters.
January 6 rioters. Well, January 6th house.gov here is a press release.
That a real URL?
It's a real URL, January 6th house.gov. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll read the article that's associated with this. But the headline here of this press release, select committees subpoenas individuals involved in planning and organizing the rallies and march proceedings January 6th attack. So we knew this was coming, but they named some people here. Well, let me just read the top part here. Chairman Benny G. Thompson, Democrat of MS, today announced that the Select Committee has issued subpoenas to 5 individuals as part of its investigation into the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol and its causes. The committee is demanding records of testimony from 5 witnesses who helped or had knowledge of the planning and financing of the January 5th and 6th rallies in Washington, D.C., and the subsequent march and violent attack on the U.S. Capitol. And there's a statement here from Chairman Thompson, quote, "The Select Committee is seeking information about the rallies and subsequent march." Is that the almost exact same thing?
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah. We need to know who organized, planned, paid for, and received funds related to those events, as well as the communications organizers had with officials in the White House and Congress. We believe the witnesses we subpoenaed today have relevant information, and we expect them to cooperate fully with our effort to get answers for the American people about the violence of January 6th. So, naming the list here. Dustin Stockton, Jennifer Lawrence. I don't think it's the actress.
That would be hilarious.
It would be very funny if it was.
She's gone full Katniss. She is here to liberate us.
Really, yeah. The method acting has gone too far. It's
Jennifer Lawrence shall rescue America, not with an AR-15, but with her bow and arrow and her best friend zoned friend, PETA.
All right. Some deep Hunger Games references there, so that's good. Taylor Budowich, and the big 2, Roger Stone and Alex Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow, they are going after him on this.
After him. The lawfare continues.
I would love to know exactly what they think he did besides just scream on the internet.
Well, he was there. That's one thing. Okay,
him and along with 50,000 other of his best friends.
Yeah, I mean, he's told the story on various places or podcasts or whatever. But let me read at least what it says here for Roger Stone and Alex Jones here. Roger Stone was reportedly in Washington on January 5th and 6th. The crime. He was in Washington. Spoke at rallies on January 5th and was slated to speak at the January 6th rally at the Ellipse that directly preceded the violent attack on the Capitol. Before traveling to Washington, Mr. Stone promoted his attendance at the rallies and solicited support to pay for security through the website stopthesteal.org. Okay, it just sounds like he's just doing what everybody does, he just asking for money. Yeah. While in Washington, Mr. Stone reportedly used members of the Oath Keepers as personal security guards. Okay, these people use security guards, at least one of whom has been indicted for his involvement in the attack on the Capitol. Mr. Stone has made remarks that he was planning to, quote, lead a march to the Capitol from the Ellipse rally. Okay. Again, I don't know. Doesn't sound like there's anything too specific there. It's a reach.
What was that last part? Document. He said he was going to what?
He made remarks that he was planning to lead a march to the Capitol from the Ellipse rally.
Okay, nothing illegal there.
Nope, nothing illegal. That's it. That's all they have on Roger Stone. Alex Jones reportedly helped organize the rally at the Ellipse on January 6th that immediately preceded the attack on the Capitol, including by facilitating a donation to provide what he described as, quote, 80% of the funding. Okay, of what? It just says 80% of the funding.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is weird.
I mean, all right.
Again, to raise money to put on a rally is not illegal.
No. Mr. Jones spoke at the January 5th rally on Freedom Plaza and was sponsored by the 80% Coalition. Mr. Jones has stated that he was told by the White House that he was to lead a march from the January 6th Ellipse rally to the Capitol, where President Trump would meet the group and speak. Mr. Jones has repeatedly promoted unsupported allegations of election fraud, including encouraging individuals to attend the Ellipse rally on January 6th and implying he had knowledge about the plans of the former president with respect to the rally. Okay. Yeah. There's nothing illegal in any of this, or at least, I don't know. I guess they need more help, and these are the people they're seeking help from. Well, Newsweek here, mirrored by MSN, had this to say about the report here. Alex Jones, this is the headline. Alex Jones says January 6th committee, quote, worse than McCarthyism following subpoena. So here's what it says in that article. Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist and InfoWars host, has accused the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack of being worse than McCarthyism after he was issued a subpoena. Jones was subpoenaed on Monday along with 5 other Donald Trump allies, including Roger Stone, as part of the inquiry into the storming of the Capitol. The storming of the Capitol. The storm is coming. The committee accused Jones of helping to organize the protests which took place prior to the mob of Trump supporters attacking the Capitol, as well as implying he had knowledge about the former president's plans on January 6th. In a statement posted on his InfoWars website, Jones described the committee of being a worse, quote, witch hunt than the campaign held by Republican Senator Joseph McCarthy. Okay, they just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. The January, quote, the January 6th committee created by law of the Democrats as a... Okay, all right, we get the point. Newsweek. I guess that's part of their tactic, too. They got to write about something, so they just take this point and they repeat it 8 times in this article.
Yeah, they have a robot doing it now.
Quote, this is the absolute declaration of war against the American people and against free speech. They don't even care in this committee that I was there at the Capitol trying to stop what happened. No, they want to basically, this is all Jones being quoted here. They want to basically put me on trial in the corporate media, showing selective information so that when people hear the name Alex Jones, they think we're talking about an insurrectionist criminal when I am the opposite. That's probably true. It is unclear if Jones intends on complying with the subpoena issued against him. Steve Bannon was criminally charged with contempt of Congress after he failed to turn over any documents when requested by the committee while citing Trump's executive privilege argument. In a statement announcing the subpoena, committee chairman Benny G. Thompson said Jones reportedly helped organize the rally at the Ellipse on January 6th that immediately preceded the attack on the Capitol and also helped raise around 80% of its funding. You know, the way it almost seems like they're looking for scapegoats and trying to, provide an explanation, give us a reasonable
Somebody's
understanding.
Gotta go down.
Yeah, someone has to go down. And, Alex Jones on that list. But they keep saying that, these people like Alex Jones reportedly helped organize the rally. That's what it says that first at the Ellipse on January 6th. That immediately preceded the attack on the Capitol. But for most people not really paying attention.
They're separating it out themselves.
They're separating it themselves, but people not paying attention will say like, "Oh, he helped organize the insurrection, the takeover," because they're basically associating the rally before it with the actual people getting into the building, getting into the Capitol. And doing that thing. So, I don't know. It's a little shady. I get that it's all connected because, Trump said walk to the Capitol. But, of course, he said do it peacefully, too. So, no one talks about that, or at least in the mainstream, they don't. Jones did not end up speaking at the January 6th rally, but claimed that White House officials told him that he was to lead a march from the rally to the Ellipse, rally at the Ellipse to the Capitol, where Trump would speak. While Trump never came to the Capitol, the committee said the location where Jones told people to wait for him coincided with where Ali Alexander obtained a permit to hold a Stop the Steal rally that day. Ooh, their own little dot connections. Quote, Mr. Jones has repeatedly promoted unsupported allegations of election fraud, yada, yada, yada. That's from the actual document there. So, I mean, I don't know, man. This is certainly putting together a list of people to take down as part of the January 6th event, which we knew they were going to just keep dragging on forever and ever for political purposes. But
yeah, they got to drag this out all the way to 2024.
2024, I know. That's a tough one. But they'll I'm sure, that's probably why they subpoenaed, take it to court and everything. It'll stretch it out, it'll take longer. As long as everything goes to the courts and anything in government takes a while anyway. But there you go. Is there anything you're thinking about it?
Just to go a little bit further into, it's very strange to me because even in this article, and maybe they did it on purpose, but I would be curious what the actual subpoenas are saying or what the actual allegations are.
Yeah, me too. I am curious
because it's not illegal to hold a rally or advertise a rally or attend a rally or fund a rally. And in this article, they keep talking about, they funded the rally that happened before the insurrection.
Yeah. And
they're separating out the rally from the insurrection itself. If I was, an elite lizard lawyer trying to... And maybe it's part of the stretching it out, because it seems like they would immediately try to connect the rally and the insurrection to make them one event.
Yes.
Because separating them out gives some deniability to the people in the rally, which I think is correct. But if I was trying to, manipulate the legal situation, I would be calling the rally and the insurrection the same thing. I wouldn't even separate them.
Yeah, that makes so you're saying that because of that, the buying of the time is the separating the two out. So
I'm just trying to think how they could possibly stretch this out to 2024.
Yeah.
And maybe making that taking a lot of time to make that connection versus throw it out there right away.
True.
Might be a way to stretch that out, because you could stretch that story out for a year, Were they the same thing? Weren't they the same thing? Would one happen without the other?
The long play, what they need is somebody who was at the rally, that these people organized, or Alex Jones and were at or organized or whatever. One of those people be directly involved in in breaking in, somebody that was among the, 100 people they grabbed or whatever?
Well, I'm sure that would be easy, and we do know that that's the case. That one Fed that everybody's talking about. What is his name?
The Fed.
Let me see if I can grab him. Yeah, that one guy, that one sketchy dude who was yelling. He was caught on camera the day before with a bunch of, rally attendees yelling, "We got to go inside. We gotta go take our country back. We gotta." And everybody around him is just like, "Dude, you're a Fed. Fed. We found him." Like, immediately identified as a Fed. And then I believe, I don't have the video or the details right on the top of my head here, but I believe that he was one of the ones at the front of the line breaking, if not breaking down the windows, at least, telling people to go inside. So he would be the easy connection. And he has not been indicted with anything. That's the weird thing about this guy. He's on camera in like 5 or 6 different locations, telling people we need to storm the Capitol, telling people to go inside, and he's just walking scot-free, not a single indictment. Meanwhile, people who walked in, took a picture, and left are like on trial, gonna serve, 6 months or a year or something.
Right.
So that guy, that might be part of his protection. He's not being even indicted as a trade for, when they need him to show up and connect the two events. He might be the guy. Give me a second. Let me look up this guy's name.
Yeah, was he the Proud Boys guy, or was that a different thing? Do you remember?
He's not in the Proud Boys.
Well,
no.
I know he wasn't in the Proud Boys, but I thought there was an informant with the Proud Boys there for a while too.
Yeah, no, different guy.
Different guy.
That's a totally different situation, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
they have his name. They know who this guy is. Here it is. Is that you? Is this you?
Is that you, criminal?
Oh, what is his name? Oh my gosh, so many paywalls. Anywho, keep going. Ray Epps.
Oh,
Ray
I do.
Epps.
That does ring a bell.
That's the guy who everybody thinks is the Fed. Yeah.
There's not anything else to this article. That was it. That's pretty much it for this Alex Jones article. That's why I was kind of like, there's not much
building
to
the
it.
Case.
Building a case, stretching out the whole conversation to 2024. But what is the sentiment out there? Because I know it was really hot with the, hey, it's the white supremacist, Trump people, the Republicans, whatever, they're the problem, and, they need to go down. Is it still that with January 6th? Is it still that heated, or is it just, because it doesn't feel like there's a lot of public outcry. It just seems like political.
The establishment is still calling it a Pearl Harbor level
Oh, wow.
event.
Okay. So they're all up in the agenda to
there's like,
take advantage.
There's like 60 people, I think, that have been sentenced with something so far.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, we told everybody it was going to be a short show today, and that is true, and that's why we should go into our second break.
Real quick break again.
It's break time! Come on, take a break.
We say it's going to be a shorter show, and it is, but it's still going to be like over 2 hours.
I know.
We keep this up.
Come on, let's go.
Are you in a hurry? Are you in a rush?
A little bit. My butt is starting to hurt from sitting in this car.
Hey, people sit in cars to drive for hours. What are you complaining about? Okay.
I just have a very fragile butt.
Okay. All right. This is why you listen to the break, folks. You learn things about us.
I know. See, people skip the breaks and they miss that gem.
You need to do some hammy exercises or something to strengthen it up.
So this break is where we thank people who have contributed to the show with their time or their talent. That's right. There's plenty of ways to produce the show. We're very grateful to our artists and musicians and everybody who helps the show out, and that's why we thank them here. Where do you want to start, Gonz?
Timestamps for episode number 414 was done by Christine C. Thank you very much, Christine. And we appreciate all the people providing timestamps for the episodes to help people jump around. I know it helps Basil to clip stuff.
Yes, it's very helpful when I'm clipping the shows for the social media posts.
We have a jingle to share with you as well.
We have a new jingle. Never cry new stuff.
And we have, I guess it's like 1.5-ish. The first one is from Matt D. And Matt D sent us a note here. Came across this little audio clip for you that could be used or created into a little jingle for the show. God bless. And I have it here. Hold on one second. It got moved. All right, here it is.
You and I live in an age of deceit.
Boom.
Yeah, that's great.
It's Chuck Missler, the late Chuck Missler. And actually, that is where I got the phrase or the idea, age of deceit. It was like, oh, because he's talking about the whole alien agenda and all that kind of stuff there.
Funny.
So thank you very much.
Yep. Good clip.
Yeah.
Good volume. Love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt D. Appreciate it. And yeah, I'm going to probably put that in the regular rotation there. And then we also have a little audio from, where happened to it? Oh, Chester W., who sent us a note. Hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Mucho macho super Cuomo bro love from Chester W. And he put this in the form of a question and answer. Question: how does Mark Zuckerberg enjoy his turkey? Answer:
with my barbecue sauce.
Exactly.
Was that you and I? Was that from the clip?
I don't know. Let me play it again.
With my barbecue sauce.
Exactly. I don't remember that moment, but there it is. We have many moments on here that we do not recall. And
with my barbecue sauce. Was that my lizard person voice?
I don't know. Yeah, you're channeling your inner lizard, apparently.
You got to put that next to the Zuckerberg, whatever Zuckerberg jingles we have. Thank you very much, Chester W.
Thank you, Chester W. All right, good stuff there. We're going to do some art now.
One art, please.
We're going to start it off with Dame Allie of the Skillet Nation.
One art, please. One art, please. Another one from Allie now. Here it is.
And this one's it's almost like its own news report here. Let me get it all put together and ready to share. Okay, so the article that's associated with this piece here: singer shares updates on her cancer battle. CNN's Chris Cuomo catches up with America's Got Talent singer Nightbird. Is it Nightbird? Nightbirdie? On her fight against cancer. Late night, while looking at the news, I saw that Chris Cuomo had interviewed Nightbride, Jane Marzowski, the America's Got Talent golden ticket winner who missed the quarterfinals because of her ongoing battle with cancer. Nightbirdie quotes from the interview, quote, "I think life sometimes is a game of choose your pain, the pain of continuing or the pain of giving up. The pain of continuing, there's a lot more uncertainty that way, but I think the pain of giving up is so much worse. I think every moment that we breathe is a miracle and a gift. Most people don't know what a joy it is to wake up in the morning without pain because they have just experienced maybe a normal life. But those like me who face death on a day-to-day basis, sometimes I think we are the luckier one because we get to really see the sweetness of life. And the miracle is to love and be loved and to dream and to have a chance at a future. I don't know if I'll ever get used to that, to the weight of that. I don't know if I'll ever become casual. I don't know if it will ever become casual to me again just to live." And the note continues, "Alan and I watched the video and I showed her Nightbirdie's America's Got Talent audition, which was so moving. And I said I thought it might be nice to draw Nightbird." I hope I'm saying it right. Is it Nightbird or Nightbirdie?
For the purposes of this exact moment, we'll do Nightbird.
Oh, okay. Nightbird. I've been saying birdie the whole time.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. So, as I said, it might be nice to draw Nightbird E and share her thoughts as we prepare for Thanksgiving. Despite everything that is going on all around us, we really do have to be thankful for, have a lot to be thankful for. James 1:17, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. So, thank you very much for that. And yeah, this is
great. I had not heard of this woman.
Either have I. I mean, I don't.
Seems like a positive young lady, though.
I haven't kept up with the America's Got Talent.
No.
Of recent, but
it's nice to have a hopeful message going out to the people, and we've got a darling portrait here done by Allie in pencil. Thank you very much, Allie.
Thank you, Allie. Appreciate it. All right, moving on here. We got a piece from Dove.
One art piece from Dove.
Excuse me, Sir Dove, Knight of Ruspeltia. How dare I?
Mm-hmm.
And the note says, Peace. Had the idea for this one last week after you guys shared several different stories about Mars. From Alex Jones' slave colonies and giant Trump statues to the article about our outer space offspring being frail and green-skinned to the play button pyramid on the Martian landscape. We catch up with AJ exposing the tyranny going on up there. But first, purchase some of his supplements. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for you. P.S. Not sure if you're doing a live show today with producer breaks, but if you aren't, we can use this artwork for Monday. Oh, this is just a note for us. Yep. Well, it's happening now.
Thank you very much, Sir Dove. And yes, as advertised, we've got Alex Jones with his fists clenched, his eyes closed, and his mouth screaming on the set of InfoWars here. This is very funny. It's a classic pose for him. In the image at the top right of his report here, we've got live footage from the colony on Mars. We've got some pyramids here. We've got some little green, frail slave colony people building the pyramids in the way that they were built in Egypt, with logs and ropes and, well, slaves. Little green Martians wearing loincloths. It's funny. And, of course, we've got a giant golden statue of Trump. Making a classic Trump face. Oh, the fun little detail. We've got Trump, the golden statue of Trump. He's wearing a Trojan horse pin on his lapel.
The googly-eyed Trojan horse.
Yeah. And back in the Disinfowars world
to you.
Oh yeah, Disinfowars. He's got some papers, as he always does, on his desk here. One of them's got the CIA seal on it, so we know where this info's coming from. But next to him, we've got some supplements for sale. We've got Dem Brain Pills. We got snake oil. And the snake oil container says, "Fix that low T, fool." Yes, right. That's the super sneaky snake oil male enhancement supplements. Then we've got a product called Survival Supplement. Take these or die. Which is a really good slogan for a survival supplement.
It is.
Got two options. Take them or die. Thank you very much, Sir Dove. This will make a great NFT someday.
I like the attention to detail. You know, with a lot of these artists, it's always the little things that make or break these pieces. The microphone. And Alex Jones notoriously uses the RE20 microphone, and the depiction of the mic, perfect, well done.
Perfect RE20.
RE20, yep. Okay, there you go. That's Dove's piece there. Thank you very much, Dove. And I believe we have, we got one from Jay Vela today. It's been a while since we heard from Jay Vela.
Vella's back.
Yeah.
We got Jay Vela, our Denver airport artist here, bringing us another mural-style piece. As usual, very spooky. This one, top left, we've got people in gowns being given a shot of green liquid, of course, by a masked science priest. And as they receive the liquid, they turn into a zombie. And surrounding them, there is sort of a caricaturized version of coronavirus with the little spike proteins, not just being spiky, but
technically
elongated into tentacles. Yes, perhaps this is the Carrie Madej nanobots. Who knows? Below that, we have a person down on a sort of strapped to a table, eyes wide open, also getting given the shot. We've got a hand reaching from the darkness, holding out what looks to be a golden scroll, perhaps a contract of some sort, next to another zombie. We've got some little demons peeking over a wall as parents wait in line to get their children to have the little shot, little babies. And behind the administering science priest here, we have the Moloch
statue
oven thing.
Yeah, statue oven.
Yeah. And top right, we've got coffin. Is that the door? It looks like the door to a church or something, on a conveyor belt being led into an oven. We've got, of course, the standard scene of riot police getting people down on their knees in front of a what is that, amusement park type of thing. Oh gosh, I'm losing my voice. And then lastly, in the bottom right, we've got a sign and people with shaved heads and prison garb lining up against the chain link fence in front of this building that has a camera pointing out and a sign that reads "Non-Vaxxed Indefinite Holiday Resort." So thank you very much, Jay Vela.
Thank you, Jay
Stark
Vela.
depictions of what we are dealing with nowadays.
Yes, and he in the note he sent us, free annual theme park passes. Pick your park: permanent zombie land or indefinite holiday resort.
Poignant.
Well done. All right.
Thank you very much, Jay Vela.
We have one more to share, and that is from Ryan N.
Ryan N.
And he's got page 22 of Advent of Logos.
22. Wow, we are making some progress. Great job, Ryan N. Yes, and in this one, remember last we left off, we just watched a burrito get 3D printed and heated up with a laser. Now, in the first cell, we have our protagonist reaching out to grab the 3D printed burrito. Just noticing our protagonist looks like he has two prosthetic robot arms. Mm-hmm. And he reaches out and the robot voice says, "Please be careful, sir. It's quite hot." He's thinking to himself, all this tech and it's still cold in the middle. He says out loud, "Lexi, activate bedroom smart mirror." And in the next cell, Lexi from a little pod up in the ceiling there says, "Absolutely, sir. What will you be wearing today?" Load outfit number 3.
Preset. Load preset outfit,
yes.
Yeah.
He's getting his digital fashion, his augmented reality fashion outfit picked out. Selection set, please step in front of the mirror. And in the next cell, we see the clothing sort of digitally manifest around him. Anything in my day planner? Robot voice says, "You have a meetup request from Magnus, sir. Should I send a notification that you will attend?" And our protagonist is thinking to himself here. He says, "It really has been a while since I've hung out with him. Yeah, go for it, Lexi." Notification sent. His location appears to be in the business district. Shall I deploy a self-E to accompany you, sir? And he's running off in the next frame here. And he says, "Sure, whatever. Maybe if I hurry, I can catch the next tram. Have a glorious day, Master Aquila." Ooh, Aquila. We have his name now. And a little selfie drone deploys to follow him to his next event. Very good. Thank you very much, Ryan. And I love how there's so many of the aspects of things that we've talked about in this show over the years, and especially recently with the augmented reality NFT cyber fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the selfie drone.
Selfie drone.
That thing is man. We need to let's just build that exit strategy right there.
Oh,
just build a selfie drone.
It's already here, baby. Thank you very much, Ryan N.
Thank you, Ryan.
Love seeing the new things. And I think that does it for our art today.
Yep.
And remember, if you're just listening, we post all the art after every episode over on our Instagram channel. Just search for Canary Cry News Talk, and you can check out the post of the art and enjoy it as we talk about it here on the show.
Do people still call Instagram IG? They reference it as IG?
Mostly just in text. Vocally, you call it Insta.
Insta.
Yeah.
The gram. Do they ever call it the gram?
Only if you're really cool, Gonz. Only if you want your stepdaughter to think you're really cool.
Canary Cry Meetup.
Did you have something else? Sorry. I stepped on your...
I was going to do microfiction, but I can do it after.
Oh, okay. All right, let's just do meetups real quick here. CanaryCry.Meetups.com. Go there to find out if there's a meetup happening near you, and if there's not, go ahead and build your own. You choose a location, you figure out a date and time, make a flyer, let us know about it, and we'll promote it, and you can connect with Canarians in your neck of the woods. Ciara is heading on a few meetups here. She's always doing the Zoom meetup every every third Saturday of the month. And a little flyer here, so if any of you want to meet virtually, you can do that with Ciara. But she's also doing some actual physical meetups. SoCal Lincoln Memorial Shrine, December 4th at 1 p.m. That's coming up in a few weeks here, a couple weeks actually. Washington and Canada meetup in March 19th of 2020 at the Peace Arch National Park. Again, RSVP, Ciara. All the contact info is at the website here, CanaryCry.Meetups.com. EU meetup, Mr. Jag at protonmail.com. The Vienna Christmas Market. That thing's supposed to happen this Saturday. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think we've gotten an update yet either. But
I don't think so.
Yeah, if you're in the EU and you're able to cross borders or exit your neighborhood.
If you're in the EU, there's a decent chance you're vaxxed anyways. So maybe enjoying the Christmas market is just the thing for you.
The Vienna Christmas Market. Yep, the 27th of November. Again, contact Mr. Jag at protonmail.com if you're interested in attending. Josiah has organized a couple meetups here for the future. He already did one. But we got the Baton Rouge, Louisiana meetup happening December 20th, 2021. And that'll be at 6:30 p.m. at the Tsunami Sushi on the roof of the Shaw Arts Center downtown. Again, contact Josiah bdyer@gmail.com if you're in Louisiana. Coming up in the next month here. He's also organizing and running the North Idaho meetup on January 8th, 2022. It's the North Idaho meetup Part 2, Coeur d'Alene. And it'll be a late Christmas, complete with white elephant gift giving, and I think location is yet to be determined. I don't think I've gotten an update on that. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure we haven't. And then also Florida meetup, January 22nd, 2022. RSVP kmbrown815@gmail.com and jackie.umfrey@mail.com. It's the Florida Panhandle CCC meetup at 5:33 p.m. at the Ye Old Brothers Brewery in Navarre, Florida. Kids welcome. And also Bend, Oregon, December 11th. It's coming up a little sooner here. And that's Gabe Garcia, 87@yahoo.com, RSVP there. Central Oregon Canary Cry Meetup, Crux Fermentation Project, 12/11/21. Absolutely no shills allowed. So, sorry, shills. You will not be allowed to be there for that one.
Sorry, shills.
Sorry, shills. And lastly, South Carolina meetup, January 22nd, 2022. This is a meetup for people in Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. It's officially the South Carolina Super Southeast Mega Meetup, happening Saturday, January 22nd, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. at the Yeehaw Brewing Co., Greenville, South Carolina, featuring Prince's famous Nashville hot chicken, On-site venue and times subject to change according to interested attendees. Again, contact producer JC or producer Moore for that. sccanarians@protonmail.com. Get all that info at CanaryCry.Meetups.com. And again, if there's not one happening near you, consider putting on your own.
That's right. Very important in these days to actually get together and fellowship in person. And Canary Cry Meetups is an excellent way to do that. You know you're on the level in so many ways, and in some ways that you aren't. You may not be necessarily on the level with people, even in your church or something like that. It's a very special experience meeting other Canarians. So highly recommend if you are within driving distance of any of these meetups, I would say really make an effort to make it to these. And if there's not one near you, start one yourself. It's super easy. It's not a big deal, folks. You just choose a place and a time and let us know about it, and we will tell the world for you. There you go.
Whew, I almost sneezed. Here's some sound advice for the meetups.
Let's invite some dudes over and fellowship tonight.
This is fun!
It's an old clip there. You gonna do microfiction?
Let's do it. Here's some microfiction from Runk Smash. And it goes like this. Back in a bunker, a man responds to an operative as he does Monty 18. Leaps into his lap, holding him down. Quote, "Father, 31 is in the no-no room. Nip me, please." Basil thanks her and gives her a nibble of catnip as she runs to the hooch and drugs wing.
Oh my gosh.
I like this universe. This is great. Talking cats.
Tailor-made to Basil's dream life.
Father, 31 is in the no-no room. No cats in the no-no room. Thank you very much, Runk Smash. Okay.
I thought 18 was, a lot. Already introducing 31.
18 is a lot, but 31 is even better.
But 18 is older than 31. Monty 33 will be the Antichrist. I already know where this is going.
It'll be something. It'll be an evil. It'll be a Judas cat.
Judas cat.
Okay, let's wake up and let's finish out the show here, guys.
Alrighty, here we go.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
We're gonna talk. Oh, I got the wrong. I had the. I have the space jingle and space Pope reptilian jingle both labeled space at the beginning. No good.
Space. Wanna go to space?
This is Bloomberg, so you know it's good. Bloomberg.com, headline here under technology. Killer asteroids abound. NASA is ready to do something about it. Oh, thank you, NASA, for doing something about the asteroid problem. The Russia incident was a warning. There's a standalone sentence that starts this article. Very ominous. On a winter morning in 2013, a meteor the size of a 4-story building screamed across the country, exploding near the city of Chelyabinsk, and injured more than 1,600 people amid widespread property damage. The chunk of rock and iron, which was 60 feet across, served as a violent reminder that Earth, bombarded daily with tons of space-going debris, periodically intersects with large planet killers, and a significant portion of those remain undocumented. After years of study and discussion, NASA has launched its first efforts to spare Earth the kind of calamity that extinguished the dinosaurs, crashing a space probe into an asteroid to alter its speed and course. The Double Asteroid Redirection Test, DART, lifted off November 23rd local time abroad, a SpaceX rocket from California, and will cruise for 10 months to a binary asteroid system. The idea is that if humans have adequate time to react, decades of notice being preferable, enough energy can be transferred into a speeding rocket to alter its trajectory and make it miss Earth, avoiding catastrophe up to and including an extinction-level event. What was the movie with this plot?
Armageddon.
Was it Armageddon? Wasn't Armageddon just blowing it up, though, with the nuke?
Yeah.
I thought there was more of a like a satellite or a missile to hit it to redirect. Maybe it was like the day after tomorrow.
I think it's a bit of a trope. I think there's just sort of an ambient trope. I'm sure the movie existed, but this is a very popular science fiction idea.
Oh, it says right here, though a popular subject in science fiction, it's worth noting that NASA's current toolkit of asteroid nudging techniques does not include Morgan Freeman, Bruce Willis, or nuclear weapons. Given the critical nature of the work, it's, quote, not a stretch to suggest that DART may be one of the most consequential missions ever undertaken by NASA. Casey Dreyer, an analyst.
They're really laying it on thick here.
Casey Dreyer, an analyst with the Planetary Society, wrote in a November memo to members. The Planetary Society. Quote, this test is to demonstrate that this technology is mature enough so that it would be ready if an actual asteroid impact threat were detected, Lindsey Johnson, NASA's planetary defense officer, said at a November 4th news conference. Are any of these people part of the Space Force?
I have no idea. They sure aren't mentioning it if they are.
They don't want to give Trump credit. In September of next year, if all goes as planned, the DART craft will target Dimorphos, a smaller 530-foot rocky body gravitationally tied to the larger Didymos, which is almost 2,600 feet across. The two rocks travel about 1 kilometer or 0.6 miles apart, and Dimorphos orbits its larger sibling every 11 hours and 55 minutes, just like clockwork, Johnson said. Traveling at about 15,000 miles per hour, the craft, which weighs 1,344 pounds and is 59 feet across, is to collide head-on with Dimorphos to both slow the rock by a fraction of a second and to adjust its orbital period around the larger asteroid by several minutes. Quote, it's all about measuring the momentum transfer. How much momentum do we put into the asteroid by hitting it with the spacecraft? Said Andy Cheng, lead investigator for the mission at Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory, which built and manages the spacecraft. Didymos was discovered 25 years ago and has been well analyzed insofar as asteroids and comets go. Its course isn't predicted to meet Earth in the future, but its relatively close trajectory gives scientists a good test platform to observe with telescopes from about 6.8 million miles away. DART will use laser targeting and other high-resolution technologies to autonomously choose its impact point. As it races towards the rock, the craft's camera will send images back to Earth. A small cube satellite released from the main craft before impact will also record images from a safe distance. One big unknown, the smaller body's surface composition and topography, which are too small to ascertain from Earth. For more than 15 years, NASA has been under congressional order to catalog near-Earth objects, NEOs, larger than 140 meters or 460 feet, the size at which an asteroid strike could cause enormous devastation. Quote, while no known asteroid larger than 140 meters in size has a significant chance to hit Earth for the next 100 years, less than half of the estimated 25,000 NEOs that are 140 meters and larger in size have been found to date, according to NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office. The 2013 Chelyabinsk incident caused Washington to take notice, with funding for planetary defense rising by more than 4,000% to $200 million annually over the past decade, thanks to ample support from both the Obama and Trump administrations, Dreyer said. The challenges for spotting these potential planet killers are daunting, however. Earth-based telescopes are limited in range. Objects approaching from the direction of the sun can't be seen. Many asteroids reflect almost zero light, and all travel ludicrously fast, 43,000 miles per hour, or 12 miles per second on average. Yeah, that was one of the questions I had, too, is like...
Ludicrous speed!
Ludicrous speed. How do they really know what they're seeing up there? But anyway, moreover, not all are local. In 2017, astronomers spied the first large visitor from outside the solar system, a 400-meter cigar-shaped oddity called Oumuamua that looped around the sun at a blistering 196,000 miles per hour on its way back out into interstellar space. It was aliens. That's not what it says here. NASA plans additional testing of its trajectory-altering technique once it has data from DART's destruction at Dimorphos, assuming the mission is successful. A gravity tractor is another idea under active consideration, the concept being to attach a spacecraft to an asteroid to enlarge its mass and slowly change its orbit. Still, observation is critical in preventing a repeat of the fate that befell the dinosaurs. You know what's really funny is the whole like dinosaur narrative of how they went extinct and everything else, and just the logic of this article, which is pretty much over. Let me just finish it here. NASA and other scientists are laboring under last year's loss of the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, which played a key role in radar assessment of near-Earth objects, helping researchers to determine their size and orbits, says Johnson, the Earth's defender at NASA. Quote, the key to planetary defense is finding them well before they are an impact threat. Well, yeah, isn't that with any threat, just to know about it beforehand? But the whole dinosaur thing, they mention it 2 or 3 times in the article where it's like, oh, we can't go the way of the dinosaur. We must do something about it now. It's almost like there was a judgment on the lizard people, and and they all went, quote unquote, extinct. And the generation now is like, we must not be like the lizard people. We learn from the lizard people, and they're telling us to, launch rockets into space to change trajectory of comets or whatever.
Did you know that the concept of the dinosaurs being killed by an asteroid only came out or was quote unquote discovered like in the 90s?
Yeah, I know. I know it's a fairly...
It seems like such a taken for granted piece of quote unquote, scientific information, but it's like incredibly new theory.
Yeah. No, it's yes, in the realm of science, it is a relatively new narrative.
Yeah.
And there's with any kind of historical thing in science, you got to always kind of take it with a grain of salt, because they'll take certain parts of evidence and then they build a whole mythology around it, which is what happens.
And the mythology that you're talking about is interesting. Mythology is playing a very pivotal role in this entire thing. I mean, it's the mythology, whether or not the asteroid actually killed the dinosaurs, it's the story of the asteroid killing the dinosaurs that is directly contributing towards billions of dollars of government spending to just like launch a big piece of metal into the sky and try to crash it into
something.
An asteroid.
Firmament.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll crash it into the firmament
bizarre.
And call it an asteroid.
Yeah.
Tests. Yeah, so yes, it is very and yeah, I mean, it's just how the world goes around, the propaganda of the mainstream everything, institutions, the educational infrastructure, the military. You talk about the officialdom, it's all controlled, it's all, and again, there's many people have noticed, and I've been commenting on it too, how the more we start looking at the metaverse and the digital world and the virtual world, the more it seems like they're just pushing out space narratives at the same time. If you're kind of paying attention, it's like a lot more space-based stuff recently.
Yeah.
And,
well, especially now that the COVID story is over, they need to find the next scary thing.
Well, COVID from space.
Yeah.
That'll be a thing. The mutant, the mutated COVID showed up on a
strain.
rock.
The Martian variant.
The Mars variant. Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
but
that's your
there you go.
Folks.
Yeah. It's fun to see. Not fun. It's interesting to see. Like you said, there's just the logic of some of this stuff contributes to millions, if not billions, of dollars being spent for what? Like bettering? Is this going to make us better? I guess it protects us from an extinction level event.
Well, it's just like anything else. In a sense, these NASA guys are preppers.
Yes, they are.
They're really no different from, somebody buying a gun and getting some ammo in case society falls. They're just doing the same thing on a gigantic scale. We're going to spend a bunch of money and play around with crashing rockets into rocks, just so we'll be ready for if it really hits the fan.
Yeah, right.
So in that sense, I could kind of empathize with this idea, especially if you're at NASA and you kind of just got to find something to do. The government's not funding a moon mission or anything, and you kind of, you spend your days flying the satellites around. You're like, oh, here's some fun thing we can do. We'll get billions from the government for this.
Well, and they made the reference to Morgan Freeman, Bruce Willis, or nuclear weapons, as a movie thing. And you can say, hey, predictive programming, but it's almost lazy for the government to be like, well, yeah, what are we going to spend money? We need to make sure that there's space, funding going to the space thing. Well, what can we do? Oh, well, I saw Armageddon.
Remember Armageddon?
You know what I mean? It's so...
Night.
It's kind of sell this. It's kind of pathetic that if you think of it in that way, or these folks can't come up with anything to benefit the world in a more impactful way. You get people starving or whatever, but they want to do the whole Bruce. They want to be Bruce Willis.
Stop picking on NASA, Gonz. They're just innocent nerds who want billions from the taxpayers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's a show, Gonzo.
A little shorter again. I think we're right at 2 hours here, but
not that much shorter, though.
Truly, yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. We'll have something special for you on Friday, so make sure to follow the RSS feeds, the podcast feeds on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever your favorite podcasting app is, so you can check that out. And, of course, as always, we'll be thanking producers on Monday because we'll need some producers for Monday's show. And if you're out there and you've heard us talk about the value for value model and you've been getting value out of the show for any length of time, take a second, pray about it. Consider what kind of value you've gotten out of this show. Maybe it's just knowing that NASA's got your back if an asteroid comes.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe that brings you some peace of mind, or whatever the case may be. Pray about it, think about it, put a number on it that's important to you, that will make you feel like you're doing your part to keep independent media truly independent and not have to rely on corporate influence and corporate money. And you can become a producer of the show, of course, by heading over to CanaryCry.com/support.
CanaryCry.com/support.
That's right. And again, just to mention it, it's always difficult at the end of the year here, producership-wise. We understand things are tight, and the holidays make things even tighter. So for those producers out there who are able to produce the show, maybe you haven't done it very often or whatnot, this would be an excellent time of the year to come in, produce the show, and keep it going while, keeping in mind that other producers around the world will be so grateful because it's a little bit tight for everybody. So you can do that, again, CanaryCryRadio.com/support or Patreon.com/CCNT. But I want to thank the producers of this episode 415 of Canary Cry News Talk. Let's see. Oh, no executive. So I'll start with calendar producers, of course, Stephen S., Palmer B., Thomas C., Liz D., and thank you to our new knight, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. And congratulations for making it to the round table and making it to the 77 streak. Thank you to Brian D., Amanda P., Jackie U., Morv, Sir Sigurd the Beast, Heather S., Gail M., JC, Veronica D., Ciara, The Green Mountaineer, 57 Chevy Girl, Sir Casey the Shield Knight, Runk Smash, and Doctor Who Done Dat. Thank you all for helping to keep this show going. We appreciate it very much. But you can help out in other ways if you're a creative person. You create some value for the show with your art or your music or your jingles, whatever the case may be. You can send that all into CanaryCry.Radio@gmail.com or CanaryCry.Radio@protonmail.com. You can help out the show, of course, by sharing it on your social media, sharing it everywhere. I mean, it just helps. Just interacting with the content on our social media helps get it out there. But of course, posting links to episodes is a great way to let the world know to check out the show. And again, don't worry if you don't have a lot of followers or anything like that. It's more about the algorithms. The more the robots see that their show is getting shared, the more that they will share it on their own. Remember to head to CanaryCryMeetups.com. Find a meetup near you. If there isn't one, create one yourself. Let's see here. What else? Do that. Yeah. And then, of course, it's Thanksgiving. A good opportunity to not get in fights with your family. But if somebody seems interested, you can let them know about the show over there as well. And, of course, if you want to get more creative, there's other ways to get creative when it comes to sharing the show. You don't have to just post it. You don't have to just mail it to a friend across the ocean. In fact, if you really wanted to, here's the thing. As we know, the tale of the first Thanksgiving is sort of a contrivance, a mythology, if you will, created by the elites in the United States in order to inspire thankfulness and patriotism. Well, baby, it's 2021. It's time to create a new mythos for Thanksgiving. And I'm recalling now in my history books written by a producer of the show. Of course, we have history book writers that work in the publishing industry, and I'm realizing now that I read about that incredible American moment where a giant canary sailed over from Greenland, exploring the new world, looking for a place to establish a new nation of truth and justice, where the mainstream corporate media would have no say in the regular lives of human beings, and how advertising would be cast aside like the evil that it is. A new nation, a Christian nation, and it's a nation entirely inhabited by truth-singing canaries that would then empiricize the rest of the world, spreading the good word of the anti-corporate media knowledge, and it would change the world forever. The world would never be the same. In fact, it would be a country filled with the most innovative, the most prosperous, and the most truth-seeking people on the globe, or the world, or the pancake, whatever the case may be. And then children would learn about that for years and decades and hundreds of years into the future, making it a part of their core national identity and ensuring that the future is safe from the lies of the corporate media. That's just one thing you can do, folks. You don't have to do it that way. You can find your own creative ways to share the show. Either way, we call it rattling cages. And if you need any more instructions, here's what you do. You simply just walk right up to him, you grab him by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted. I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right, just ask Noah. All right, Gonz, any last words?
No, I think you summed it up there. Please enjoy time with friends, family. Have a good Thanksgiving weekend, and we'll see you all Monday. God bless everybody. And what was I going to say? There was something else. I forget. I'm off my game today.
That's all right. It's time for
short
turkey,
show
man.
thing. Oh yeah, turkey.
Yeah.
Sleepy time.
Sleepy time. All right. Well, Gonz, before we go here, I did run a poll on the YouTube chat after the first break, and the poll was whose jingles are better, Gonz's evil robot soundboard or Basil's heavenly jingle voice?
Oh gosh.
And Gonz, I kid you not, 50-50. 50-50, straight up and down. Could not be decided. So I thought that was of note. And thanks.
I could just picture half the audience going, "Oh, please bring the soundboard back." Other people going, "Yay, dancing monkey Basil."
Well, that's the thing. You gotta love a 50-50 poll, because no matter what you do, you're making a lot of people mad. So thank you very much, everybody, we won't be changing anything drastic soon, folks, but it's nice to know that in an emergency, I could just bust out those jingles a cappella. All right, thanks for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time, but until then, think outside the cage.
Remember, reality is an illusion, the universe is a hologram. Buy gold, buy!
I wanna shake things up, shake things up. I wanna shake things up, shake things up. Leave the bird alone. I wanna stir up some controversy. I wanna rattle a few cages. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. A crusader for the little guy. Well, we'll see about that.
Whatever, Illuminati.
Give me a break.
We're all gonna die.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
I do it with everyone.
God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods he holds judgment. How long will you so-called gods judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? You are to give justice to the weak and the fatherless, maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute, rescue the weak and the needy, deliver them from the hand of the wicked. They have neither knowledge nor understanding, they walk about in darkness, all the foundations of the earth are shaken. I said, you are gods, sons of the Most High, all of you, nevertheless, like men you shall die, and fall like any prince. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all the nations. Let the heavens praise your wonders, O Lord, your faithfulness in the assembly of the holy ones. For who in the skies can be compared to the Lord? Who among the heavenly beings is like the Lord? A God greatly to be feared in the council of the holy ones, and awesome above all who are around him. O Lord God of hosts, who is mighty as you are, O Lord, with your faithfulness all around you. You rule the raging of the sea. When its waves rise, you still them. You crushed Rahab like a carcass. You scattered your enemies with your mighty arm. The heavens are yours. The earth also is yours. The world and all that is in it, you have founded them.
We're all gonna die.
It's time. Fun fact, I believe it was another fun fact.
I can't deal with it right now, Basil.
Fun fact. Another fun fact.
Illuminatus! Sends me back to my Screamo days.
In the future, humans will be confined in a people's zoo.
I'll keep you safe and warm in my people's zoo. I'll keep you safe and warm now in my people's zoo. You, yeah, you in my people's zoo. I'll keep the cameras on. You fat and sassy in my people's zoo.
Everybody wants waffles. Everybody wants waffles.
You fat and sassy in my people's zoo.
It will chill. Everybody wants waffles.
You, yeah, you, yeah, you, in my people's zoo.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths!